We hear so much these days about the many physical and mental health benefits of gardening. Choosing to grow native plants comes with a whole bunch of added bonuses, like needing less fertilizer and attracting more pollinators. Hello, I'm Sandra Levine, host of Still Time for Joy. Today you'll see what growing native plants looks like near the New Jersey shore, and we'll give you a list of beautiful and productive plants that thrive here, even though the soil is famously sandy.
So in 2009, I started my first vegetable garden and expanded huge since then.
On just about a third of an acre in Berkeley Township, New Jersey, not far from the beach, Ocean County Master Naturalist Lisa Mazzuca manages a very productive habitat despite the sandy soil. She's created a food forest that grows all kinds of organic produce, from elderberries and blueberries to hazelnuts and a fruit called pawpaw. Mazzuca's garden is mostly, but not exclusively, comprised of plants native to the coastal plain.
Native plants help the gardener as well as the ecosystem on the whole. Native plants are adapted to our soil conditions, to our weather, to our climate. So they evolved here and like it here already. We don't have to make the perfect conditions in an artificial way. So when we put native plants, the right plant in the right place, they tend to be more successful than if you try to introduce something from outside. They also feed the wildlife that evolved in this area, including insects that can be beneficial and help the rest of your system succeed.
Using native plants generally means less fertilizer and watering are needed. Still, Mazzuca uses special techniques and lots of compost to improve the sandy soil.
It helps to retain nutrients, it helps to retain moisture, and regulate the temperature of the soil. It also is a home for the microbes that help plants to grow better. They feed the plants. We feed the microbes feed the plants. So I introduce organic matter, and I do that in a couple of different ways. I do that using sheet mulch, so that's on the top of the soil surface. I use cardboard and compost and leaves, which I have an abundance of. You can bring things in if you need to, off-site, like straw. And I've even brought seaweed in that I've scraped up from the bay, duckgrass, from the bay, and rinsed it off so that there's no salt water. And then I apply that to my beds because it's very high in mineral content.
Once the soil's ready, comes the fun part, deciding what to plant.
Some of my very favorites are edible, productive native plants, and that includes the beach plums. They are shrubs that are about 6 to 10 feet tall and thrive on sandy soil. We have pawpaws, which can get to be 25 to 30-foot trees. They are North America's largest native fruit.
And you introduced me to my first pawpaw.
Pawpaws are an interesting fruit, and you don't typically have the opportunity to get them commercially. We have passion flower vines. Those are vining, so they do need support, but they have gorgeous alien-looking flowers that are perfect for carpenter bees and large bumblebees. Big bees love passion flower. May apples, which are incredibly toxic and poisonous and deadly until the fruit is very, very ripe. Then it's edible.
So you need to know what you're doing.
You do.
What else as far as pollinators go? What about flowers for pollinators?
I do have a meadow strip down near the front of my property where I am happy to say that I've been able to incorporate milkweed into the meadow strip. Milkweed is important because it is the only food source from monarch butterflies, anything in the milkweed family. So we have common milkweed and we have butterfly weed, which is much more compact, bright orange flowers. And for a more traditional garden where they're really looking for pops of color, You have to think about bloom time so that they extend throughout the season. So you want some things that bloom in very early spring, like Virginia bluebells are an ephemeral. That means it comes up in early spring and then is gone by the summertime. For midsummer blooms, purple coneflower are a beautiful plant. Late summer is the early sunflower. Those are not a true sunflower, but they're in the aster family. Aromatic asters are gorgeous for bright purple fall color.
And a lot of these will attract bees and butterflies?
Absolutely. Virginia spiderwort is also a native plant, even though it says Virginia in the name. It's a New Jersey native. They bloom for a long time through spring and summer, and they attract pollinators, and they're edible.
What's your best advice for someone who wants to start to create a native plants yard?
Join your local native plant society, because you will find so much information and plants. Gardeners love to share. So when you go to the events of the Native Plant Society, you will make friends and you will swap seeds and cuttings and plants so that you can start experimenting. Just start planting. Don't be discouraged if they don't all make it, because we don't always know when we're just starting out which is the right plant for the right place. So make sure not to give up. Just keep tucking things in and look at them and visit your plants and enjoy them and enjoy that the pollinators are enjoying the plants.
Mazzuca owns and runs a busy company that creates custom websites for businesses. The garden provides balance.
It's so important to me. Such an important part of my life. I have a lot of screen time, and when I go out and I visit the plants in the yard and I see all the bees and different things buzzing around them, it's like looking at a fish tank. I feel like my blood pressure goes down. It's good for me. When you come outside and you breathe and you work with nature to a specific result, it gives you a connection to the earth and that you're part of this system. And you can see the forest for the trees.
If you garden in New Jersey, you can find lots of information on the interactive Jersey Friendly Yards website at jerseyyards.org. Around the U.S., you also can check out your state's cooperative extension website for reliable information. From Berkeley Township, New Jersey, for Still Time for Joy, I'm Sandra Levine. If you found today's show helpful, please share the information with someone who needs it and follow Still Time for Joy for more practical tips on weathering life's storms, as well as inspiring stories of people who have turned their pain into purpose. Please consider supporting the work that goes into producing the show on Patreon. Follow Sandra Levine Productions on Facebook and YouTube, and learn more at sandralevine.com.